Hello everybody, welcome to yet another video by JFP, and in this video we'll dive deeper into what logic gates are and how they work by simply showing you the examples of the most common logic gates and the basic fundamental logic gates that are out there in the world. We'll start in this video. I'll just dedicate it solely to the NOT gate. The NOT gate is one of the fundamental logic gates which are always there to make other logic gates. So how does the NOT gate work and how is it represented? In representation, the NOT gate is just represented as a wire going in something, a triangle, that's where the wire is going into, a circle in front, then a wire going out. At the left side of any logic gate you find, so just try to look for the diagram where you see this pictorial diagram, something like that. At the left is always what we call the input side. At the right is always what we call the output side. For the output of any sort of logic gate, it's solely determined by the inputs of that logic gate. So try always to remember that always the output is determined by the inputs of the logic gate. Now let me show you a basic scenario in which a logic gate is working. And in basic scenario, we'll use a truth table to track the inputs of that scenario, like what are we actually inputting, and we also track the outputs of that logic gate. So let's always try to remember that we'll represent the inputs with an A and the outputs as a B. Then if the electricity is flowing through, we represent that with a 1, and if electricity is not flowing through, we represent that with a 0. So when electricity is flowing through, it's a 1. When electricity is not flowing through, it's a 0. And the input side we represent as an A, the output side we represent that as a B. All that will be used within a truth table, and the truth table is just a table which is used to track the inputs and output of any logic gate. Let me just draw that now so that you can get a better understanding than me just sitting here and explaining these things. A truth table can be represented like this, just a table, any ordinary table. Then we can simply draw that. So for the NOT gate, the NOT gate is some sort of a special case. Actually, all logic gates are some sort of a special case. But the NOT gate in particular obeys a principle which I'll say nothing, the nothing principle. Let's depict this A and let's depict this B. So the A is representing the input and the B is representing an output. I can explicitly say that an input and output, but it would be too long to write. So we'll write this as an A, we'll write this as a B. So now, what will happen if we have electricity flowing through the NOT gate? And I said the NOT gate doesn't want electricity flowing through for it to produce a logical output of 1. So what will happen when we give it electricity? So imagine I've given it electricity and I represent that as a 1. What will happen to B? For B, well, actually nothing will happen to B. B will just remain 0. The NOT gate won't allow any flow of electricity through it. Actually, it won't allow any flow of electricity through it. So at this side you have electricity going through it, a lot of electricity going through it, but at this side you literally have nothing coming out. So it's like the NOT gate is consuming that electricity and all those things, but in simple terms it's just doesn't want any electricity, it wants nothing. So what happens if we give it nothing, whereby at A we just say 0 and it's not getting any electricity? At B, for the NOT gate, it will come now and produce electricity. So when there's literally nothing being given to the NOT gate, but it's connected within a circuit, it will now start producing electricity at this end. So it will now start producing an output of 1 because simply you have given it nothing. That's what it obeys. So the engineers of that NOT gate made it in such a way that every time it's given no input, it will always produce an output. And every time it's given an input, it will never produce an output. So if you have more questions and you're still confused, oh my god, you just confused me, I thought it was something else and all that, don't worry, just master this truth table and you'll see it's a NOT gate. When always there's no input, that's when the NOT gate produces output. When there's input, it won't produce any output. So that was a very simple explanation to how the NOT gate works. Master this truth table. Now these truth tables can be used to actually identify what kind of logic gate is working. So if I was to give you an example, A and B, then I was to fill in some data there, then I'll tell you that, whoa, can you tell me what logic gate is working to produce this truth table? You don't even have to stress, just try to observe the pattern. When the logic gate was given 0 input, it produces an output. when it was given input, it produces no output. What do you think it was? It's a NOT gate, because nothing was produced. It was obeying simply, it was inverting the values. When it was given 0, that's when it's given a 1. When it's given 1, it's given a 0. So it's making those values opposite. So there are many ways you can think of a logic gate. It obeys nothing. That's how you can think of it. It makes values opposite. That's how you can think of it. And by the way, in logic gates, there are only two values, 1 and 0. 1 representing the flow of electricity, 0 representing there's no flow of electricity. So with nothing, opposite, many ways. Just try to master the truth tables. When you're always given an input by logic gate, it will give you no output. When you give it no output, that's when it gives you an input. So that was a very simple explanation to how a logic gate works. An example of a logic gate, that's the NOT gate, how it works. Thanks for watching. Please leave a like, share, and subscribe.